Let's talk about the 7 most common mistakes that funnel builders make when pricing out any of their services. Hey guys, Mike here from sellyourservice.co.uk, and one of the biggest problems that I see funnel builders facing is they just don't know what to charge for all of their different services and products. Now, a lot of the time we think we're only going to develop one system or one product or one service, and we say, well, I'm only going to go build marketing funnels for this particular niche. Let's say that you only want to build marketing funnels for hot tub suppliers, okay? A lot of the time when we think about building out products and services for our businesses, pricing is kind of a bit of a misnomer, and we have a lot of misconceptions about pricing in our head that frankly cause us to struggle to grow, cause us to struggle to get income. There's also some cause and causality misconceptions that we think, well, because the price is too expensive, that's why I'm not making any money, when really it's actually because you probably haven't made enough offers. So let's go through the 7 most common pricing mistakes that funnel builders typically go through. So number 1 is pricing in the middle. For some reason, this is given as advice in marketing courses and textbooks and enterprise level business meetings. I've seen this go at networking events. I've seen business coaches talk about it. And every single time when it happens, I've always been the first to challenge that idea because I think that's not a pricing strategy. First of all, pricing in the middle doesn't exist. It is an absolute misnomer. It's completely fake. At the top end of the market, you have 5% of businesses who make any money in anything, whether it's property, manufacturing, trade, money, banking, building funnels, design, services, marketing, whatever it is, content writing, whatever. You have the top 5% of the market making any money, and they charge $100,000 per funnel or $100,000 per sales letter or whatever it is. They've got very, very high prices. And at the lower end, the really low end, you have these crazy low competitive rates where people are like, get a website for $99 or business coaching for $1 an hour or whatever it is. And because it's so low, we think, well, I want to go somewhere in the middle. I don't want to go super high for some of the reasons that I'll talk about later, but I also don't want to go too low because I can't really sustain that. So we think going in the middle. The reality is the middle doesn't exist. Most people are pricing at the bottom and they don't make any money. Because they don't make any money, they never get to the top 5%. But the reason they're not in the top 5% is because they don't charge enough. The middle doesn't exist, and you have to price according to your pricing structure, your income, your outgoings. You have to take into account the fact that people who price right at the top, you've got no idea what their business model is like. You've got absolutely no idea what their income and expenses are like. But also pricing at the bottom, you've got no idea what their business system is like. The problem with pricing at the bottom and the lower end of the market is that there's always someone willing to go lower. I'll bank dollars to donuts. Whatever you think is a crazy low price, someone will be willing to go lower than that. That's where they want to go. That's their business model. They're always going to drive down price. I would rather go as expensive as I can and give as much value back to my customer as I can. Number 2 is pricing low because you feel you have low overheads. Let's say you work from home, you don't have an office space, you don't have any staff, and you think, well, I've only been doing this a while. I don't really need a lot of equipment, so my overheads are very low. Therefore, I can undercut my competition. The problem with this is that you're not going to build in any room to scale. It usually means that you haven't really got an idea of what your overheads are, because often when we go through the exercise of working out what someone's overheads really are for their business, they're very surprised to find that they're a lot higher than they are, sometimes 10 times higher than they might think per month, just to keep the business afloat. To price low because you feel I haven't got any overheads, so therefore I won't need to pay for any of the overheads, isn't building in the concept of scale. You need to have a margin to know that whenever you do begin to hire staff, whenever you do begin to move into an office space, that you've got enough money to play with and you're not jumping your prices up. It's a lot harder to increase your prices because you need to start paying more staff or paying more overheads because you realize you haven't got any money, compared to building that price in the first place and gradually increasing them as your market value increases. Which brings us on to point number 3, not paying yourself. The amount of businesses I know, funnel builders, who say I'm going to price low because I'm not going to pay myself for the first couple of years is cancerous. I don't know what it is about businesses who say, oh, I'm putting everything back into the business, everything back in the business, I'm not paying myself. So what you're saying is, as you get busier, you're actually going to make less money. The businesses exist. The business exists to make you a living. If you're not paying yourself anything, whenever you get a new customer, you're going to be less incentivized to work on it because you're not going to make any money. Now, I understand making 100,000, and rather than giving yourself 50,000, you only give yourself 20,000 and you put the rest into the business. I understand that, but you have to build some kind of self-payment model into the business. If you read Mike Michalowicz's book, Profit First, he'll build you out and show you a pricing model that's very, very fair, I believe. It's actually up to $100,000. It's paying yourself $50,000 a year, which I think is pretty reasonable. If you build your own payment model into your pricing, you're going to be more incentivized to go out and find customers, and also you'll know that your bills are being taken care of. If you don't exist in the business doesn't exist, and if you don't exist, you can't continue to serve people. So I would argue it's actually a moral obligation to start paying yourself and to continue paying yourself. Number 4 is listening to customers or people or family or friends or other funnel builders who say, wow, that's really expensive, or that's too expensive. So whenever anyone says that's very expensive, if I was to hand them a bill, that's their problem. It's not even an objection. I would say, yeah, it is expensive. Sign here, give us a deposit. It's not even a case of thinking, oh, well, maybe I need to reduce my price. It's irrelevant. If something is seen as expensive, it's for one of two reasons. Either one, you haven't done a good enough job explaining the value of the product or the service that you're delivering to them. That's fine. That's a lesson that you can learn. You can change that. Or two, they're never going to get it. Some people are just never going to get it. If you had the winning lottery ticket and you said, look, these are the 6 winning lottery numbers and it was worth $16 million, and you said to them, I want to give you this for $100,000, some people are still never going to get it. They're still going to find a reason to not find the money. Other people telling you that it's expensive or they feel it's expensive has got nothing to do with your pricing strategy. That's entirely their own mindset, and also it's their problem. It's not even an objection. So if anyone says to you that's expensive, agree with them. You go, yeah, it is expensive. What isn't today? So number 5 is not thinking about the price first. A lot of businesses and funnel builders, they'll go into the market thinking, well, I want to build websites and landing pages and opt-in forms and email marketing and social marketing and remarketing and all these kinds of clever automation processes and tactics. And then they'll think, I wonder what I can charge for that. Instead, what you need to think is work backwards and say, I want to make $25,000 per project, which gives me roughly $12,000 to spend on the project, and which roughly gives me $7,000-ish, $8,000 to hire somebody else to outsource it to do it. What can I deliver for that price? I've got another video on how to work out your pricing backwards, but rather than thinking, here's all the things I want to deliver, what should I charge for it? You need to think, here's what I want to charge, what can I deliver for that price? That's how McDonald's works out their pricing menu. That's how the top marketing firms and consultancies work out their pricing. They work out what they want to charge first and then go looking for customers who are willing to pay that for their services, and then think to themselves, what do I need to deliver in order to justify $25,000, as opposed to thinking, here's all the stuff that I want to build, what can I get away with charging with? Number 6 is charging low prices to get customers in. I see this trap all the time when people say, yeah, I'm going to start charging 25 grand per customer, I'm going to start charging $10,000 per funnel, or $100,000 a year per funnel, or even $1,000 per year per funnel, whatever your model is, and then not making any sales and thinking, I need to lower my price. Your price has got absolutely nothing to do with the amount of interest in your product. I'm going to guarantee the reason that people aren't interested in your products and sales is for one of two reasons. One, you're not making enough offers. You're not saying to enough people, hey, I can help you. Would you like some help with that? Let's get on a call and discuss your needs. Even reaching out to your current email list or your current network and saying, is there anything that I can help with at the moment? Make an offer. So the more offers you make, the more interest you'll generate. The second point is you're probably not creating enough content. Videos like this using even just your cell phone camera, I've got a microphone, but even if you're just creating useful content to help your audience, that will massively increase the amount of interest that you have in your products and services. As opposed to thinking I need to lower the price to get people more interested, what you should be doing is increasing the number of offers you make and the amount of content that you put towards that audience. And finally, number 7 is believing that you don't have enough experience or you haven't been in the market long enough to justify charging a high price. I'm going to say this very, very clearly. The time on the market has got absolutely nothing to do with the price that you can charge. Nothing. We see products that are brand new to the market, and instantly are worth tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions even of pounds. There's absolutely no indication that just because you're new to the market, you deserve a lower price. It's absolute bullshit. It's also not true that just because a product's been on the market for 20, 30 years, that also deserves a high price. I don't believe that the market dictates the price. I believe that we dictate the price, and we have to do everything we can to justify why it's worth that investment. But if you're new to the marketplace of building marketing funnels, just because you haven't done it before, just because you haven't got that much experience, just because you haven't been in the marketplace for a long time, that's got nothing to do with the amount that you can charge. What really fucking pisses me off is when I see new funnel builders who are in the game and in the space and they think, yeah, I really want to make a difference and help people, and I'm consuming Mike's content and I'm writing blog content and I know what my services and products are going to be, and someone else says, yeah, well, I've been designing websites for 25 years and I don't charge that much. Well, that's your fucking problem then, isn't it? That's not my problem, that's your problem. That's got nothing to do with the length of time I've been in the market or the new guy's been in the market. That's to do because you aren't brave enough or smart enough or intelligent enough to get your pricing strategy right. And I see it time and time again. So don't listen to anybody else, and that kind of brings us back to points 1 and 2 about people saying it's expensive and pricing in the middle. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'm Mike from Sell Your Service. Let me know in the comments below if any of those ring true for you, or if any of those are the reason that you haven't priced effectively and efficiently within your marketplace. I know that I really struggled with a lot of these for a while, so you're not alone. It's got nothing to do with, you know, how smart or stupid you are. Let me know in the comments below if any one of those resonated with you. In the meantime, if you're new here, hello, consider subscribing. I produce new content every single week. In the meantime, guys, thanks very much for watching. I've probably got a couple of videos either side of my head here about pricing and building out the pricing for your marketing funnels, as well as pricing your proposals. I've also got some free training on how to find a niche for your marketing funnel business below in the description, and I'll see you on the next video. Keep building those funnels.